day. Welcome to your News at Noon. As usual, I'm Kevin Smith. The Commonwealth Secretariat is warning its member countries in the oil and gas industry of the uncertainty of decommissioning costs, which can result in the price tag to restore the ocean floor easily moving from US millions to US billions. As a result, the Commonwealth urged governments to ensure they implement policies and regulations that would require oil and gas companies to give regular estimates on decommissioning costs. Decommissioning is a complex and costly process at the end of the economic life of an individual oil and gas project. It involves the safe plugging and abandoning of oil wells, removal of structures, and restoration of the surrounding areas. It was stated that decommissioning costs, like development costs, can vary significantly from project to project, and that it can easily amount to billions of US dollars to restore the ocean floor. Added to this is that decommissioning costs will be of the magnitude of development costs and subject to a large uncertainty range. Meanwhile, ESSO on Wednesday issued a request for information from suitable companies to analyze its oil sales data from the Stabroek block. ESSO said it plans to seek a service agreement to collate crude oil sales information and perform prescribed calculations. Expounding, it said companies would be required to compute total sale barrels and revenue per prescribed calculation to derive an average sale price per barrel of crude oil sold. The selected firm would also have a report a summary to the Ministry of Natural Resources. And in other news, the way has been cleared for construction to commence on the $2 billion gas to energy project, even as Guyanese remain in the dark regarding key aspects of the controversial initiative in clear violation of the nation's laws. Each application made to the EPA seeking environmental authorization or a permit to start up a project must be shared with the public. This is according to the Constitution, specifically the Environmental Protection Act. There are an additional 9 particulars that the EPA must publicize. Notably, while these facts should be accessible by members of the public, the applications made that would contain these details by both the government and its partner, ExxonMobil, for the massive gas project were never published by the regulator. But in addition to these implements of the project, all agreements made to date between the two parties have been similarly blanketed or kept secret. And in light of the recent assault of a teacher at the Grams Hall Primary School, the Ministry of Education said it will be taking action to ensure that all teachers continue to work in a safe and secure environment. The ministry, in a statement on Wednesday, stated that with grave concern, the physical assault of Sir Sean Marshall, a graduate teacher attached to the school by a parent of the school, is a reprehensive and ghastly act that will not be condoned by the ministry. In other news, the Natural Resource Committee, a parliamentary sectoral committee where members of the opposition can have some of their concerns for the oil and gas industry raised, has failed to meet for 3 years. This is according to the APNU-AFC Member of Parliament, David Patterson. Patterson noted that during 2015 to 2020, the committee functioned fully. He said that MPs from the PPPC who were in opposition at the time were able to summon Exxon to question them about their operations. According to Patterson, the reason for this has been simply because the PPP government has been using its one-seat majority in the House to control various aspects of parliamentary work. Similarly, APNU-AFC Member of Parliament Sherwin Holder bemoaned the fact that the important committee has not met in 3 years. He said as a result, he had made a request to have the oil issues raised at the level of Economic Services Committee, a parliamentary sectoral committee on which he sits and the opposition has rotational chairmanship. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news. We'll return shortly after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered. Digicel, better together.
Welcome back. A 26-year-old man on Wednesday died hours after his reputed wife, aged 30, stabbed him in the chest with a kitchen knife during a fight over rent money at their Breda Street Working-Rust Georgetown home. The dead man has been identified as Leroy Day, a laborer. According to police, Day's reputed wife inflicted a fatal wound around 23 hours 30 on Tuesday. Day was able to make it to the Georgetown Public Hospital alive but reportedly passed away around 9 hours 25 on Wednesday. The Guyana Police Force reported that the couple had been living together for the past 3 years. Investigations have revealed that they would always be involved in arguments that would end in fights. Tuesday night was no different, but this fight ended with the death of Day. Following a recent publication that the newly rehabilitated $97 million Burma following a recent publication, my apologies, that the newly rehabilitated $97 million Burma Access Road in Maikoni is breaking away some 6 months after it was completed. The Ministry of Public Works has indicated that the contractor responsible for the works will correct the defects on the road. In a release on Tuesday, the ministry said a recent publication about a section of the roadway has garnered its attention. The ministry noted that through the competitive bidding process for the rehabilitation of a section of the Burma Access Road, it had engaged a contractor, Premium Asphalt, to do the work. Meanwhile, 2 persons busted by police on Wednesday with weed and cocaine at their home in Podrine, West Bank Demerara, reported they admitted to selling the drugs but maintained that they are not committing any crime. The suspects were identified as a domestic worker, 59-year-old Bibi Zamoun Zamal, and 33-year-old Travis Gilbert, a taxi driver. Zamal said that they sell the drugs because she is sick and unable to work, while Gilbert stated that they're only hustling. Investigations are ongoing. And a 16-year-old boy was killed and his friend critically injured on Tuesday after the motorcycle they were on crashed into a tractor trailer at Wakenham Island, Region 3. Dead is Mohammed Amir Khan, and hospitalized in critical condition is 21-year-old Vikash Singh. Khan and Singh reportedly crashed around 21 hours 45. According to Khan's father, Kamal Khan, his son had spent the entire day at his grandmother's residence and might have been heading home when the accident happened. Police reported that Khan and his pillion rider Singh were traveling south along the road while a tractor driven by a 63-year-old man was heading in the opposite direction. It is unclear as to what might have occurred, but after passing the tractor, Khan somehow lost control of the motorcycle and crashed into the right rear wheel of the tractor's trailer. Eyewitnesses said that the tractor only had one light and speculated that Khan probably took it for another motorbike and accidentally swerved into the trailer after passing the light at a fast rate. The end result was a horrific and bloody scene. And it's time to close things off with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News, dedicated to bluntness. Trinidad and the Caribbean, beware Guyana. The world is talking about Guyana and its oil riches. If we are not careful, the world will talk about Guyana's oil and how bankrupted it is. A major spill and Guyana is in deep trouble. No insurance coverage, no money, and no oil partner. Exxon would be long gone should a big spill happen. Guyana would be on its own, having only itself to blame. And with that, we've ended today's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscast. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today. .
It's Thursday, January 12th. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Welcome to the National Outlook. Look, the stuff we talk here is serious stuff, so it's not joking or anything like that. Sometimes I want to talk about sport, but I feel that it's got its time and place, and I rarely find that space to share the 5 minutes on it. But here's this one from last Sunday's Kaieteur News, and it's not funny at all. It's kind of sad. Here's a man, a farmer, speaking to a policeman. Taking this thing to make fine hustle cause things a little hard. Farmer busted with ganja tells police. My God. Let me repeat that. Taking this thing to make fine hustle cause things a little hard. Things a little hard in this country? Well, not from what they tell me. Not from when you listen to the government people. We've got the fastest growing economy. We've got the biggest GDP. We've got the swiftest of this and the largest of that. So why is one Guyanese in this country telling me that things a little hard? Things a little hard mean he doesn't have any options. Things a little hard means that he can't make ends meet. So what does he resort to? He resorts to what brings the police out after him, dealing with ganja. So, according to him, taking this thing to make fine hustle. Well, we know about that. That's Guyanese talk. Hustle is you're struggling and you're putting in a lot of energy and you are dedicated to something. Might be selling things like those guys on the street, which is what they have, those air fresheners for cars and other things, little things for cars, maybe rat poison they're selling. It's a fine hustle. It's trying to raise $1. I don't know how much they sell when the day is done, whether they sell CDs, you know, the guys with the carts and the music. That's what this guy is saying to some extent here. Dealing with ganja is a fine hustle because you're looking to make ends meet because things a little hard. Things hard. In other words, things bad. Things bad. Why are things bad in a country like this? Why? Yes, we are early into our oil age, but it shouldn't be, not with all the speeches that I'm hearing. Not with all of the analysis and commentaries that I'm hearing about how good we've got it. Let me tell you something. If I didn't have my backing in the United States, my 31 years in the United States, I couldn't live in this country. I couldn't manage. I just couldn't get by. That's the reality. So I can say that. What about somebody who's never gone there and lived there and worked there and earned there, who's here, who maybe doesn't have much education or skills, and is trying anything to rise up from where he or she is? The vendors on the street, the people moving about and dealing with newspapers, selling newspapers, delivering the newspaper to your door or to your business. Those people can't be making any kind of money. They can't be making any kind of money. Let's be frank here. But we have all this oil. We have all this wealth and all this riches, these riches. And yet our people are struggling. The World Bank says 48% of Guyanese live in poverty and the government curses. Can't be, is a PNC thing. Well, PNC or PPP, it is still there today. I don't think it's 28% now. It's just around the same place. Think about these things, my fellow Guyanese. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio. 99 point.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.